Well, my colleague Katlego Nyoni has been following this tragic story for us. Katlego, a very good afternoon. It's amazing that there's one survivor, an 8-year-old child. What more do we know about her and what's happening outside the hospital where you are?
Well, certainly there, Nombu. We are now at the Mokopane Hospital where this 8-year-old sole survivor of that horrific bus crash that claimed the lives of 45 so far that we know of ZCC St. Engenas members is being treated. We understand, Nombu, that she is in a stable condition. We have been able to ascertain that initially following that crash, she was taken to a nearby hospital called George Masebe at a place called Bakenberg. Immediately, she was then transferred to a higher regional hospital. What we can tell you right now, Nombu, is that the High Commissioner to South Africa from Botswana, that is Dr. Sanji Monageng, and other officials, including the Deputy Director General for Africa, Tebogo Seokolo, have arrived at the Mokopane Hospital where they are conducting a meeting. In that meeting, the MEC for Health, Dr. Poppy Ramatuba, joined by other officials as well as doctors, forensic pathologists, as well as members of the South African Police Service are part of that meeting. We have reliably learned that indeed the 8-year-old survivor was able to survive and now she is in a stable condition. Following this meeting, Nompi, with the officials from DECO, officials from the Department of Health and other key departments, they will then proceed to go visit this 8-year-old child in her ward, but we understand that she has been stable. We also were informed that she suffered some burn wounds. We are not quite sure the extent of those burn wounds. However, at this stage, we will await for information from the officials here. The MEC also there mentioning in the interview we did with her earlier that the DNA process of identifying the remains will be a rather challenging one, that some of the remains that were retrieved were unidentifiable and they were burnt beyond recognition. They were only able to identify 9 or so bodies. At this particular stage, what we know is happening at the scene is that efforts to try and retrieve some of those remains are still ongoing. We know that also a message from President Cyril Ramaphosa to his counterpart in Botswana has also been conveyed. The Premier of Limpopo, Stan Mathabatha, has also sent words of condolences. We will be monitoring developments around the Mokopane Hospital where the 8-year-old survivor of this particular accident that claimed the lives of those ZCC St. Engenas pilgrims took place.
Yeah. So, Katlego, what about the actual place where the accident took place? What are local people saying? Is that a hotspot area? Has something similar happened before?
Well, certainly, if I can give sort of a geographic and also a topographical view of the place where that accident occurred, it is a mountainous area. It is surrounded by mountains, so that past that specific bridge is quite high as we drive on it. We have personally, as the SABC news crew, drove along that bridge. It is quite high, stretches for about 1.5 kilometers. So this is where the accident occurred, and the bus then fell down the embankment, the ravine there, claiming the lives of those people. The locals say that it is a notorious spot. It is a hotspot for accidents. They also say that this is not a large-scale accident that they have also heard of, that this is not the first one they have heard of, that there's been many accidents in the past. Nombu.
Thanks very much, Katlego Nyoni, reporting for us there in Limpopo.